Sorry. Okay, good morning, students, and I hope you are fine. Today we will discuss the chapter that is chapter 3rd, The Little Girl, by Katherine Mansfield. And before students, hopefully you are giving your attendance. I mean, you are marking your presence. Yes. So here also we can clearly see your presence and all those. I hope you are putting the 5-digit number you are using for your roll number. And we are recording it on every day in each class. And that is being recorded. So here it is Mohini Shukla, then Priyansi Giri, Akash Saxena, Vishesh Dhakar, Hiranya Kumawat, then roll number 90213. Then we have Arsh Khan 90134. Akash Vijay 90221. Then we have 90132, 90203, Pravleen Kaur 90211, Lakshita Dakar 90106, yes. Then we have Darsh Jain, Amit Gaur, and we have Vishal Khichi, Sitara Mahir. Okay, Rishabh Bahir is present 90136. Then Vibha Hada 90120. Okay, still it is very poor and minimal actually. All of you have not marked your presence, putting your 5-digit roll number that has been given to you. And students, it is very crystal clear, very transparent that we are recording it on each and every class day, right? Then the same will be used for every month, right? And I will tell you the June month attendance, right? The same will be recorded for the other kinds of assessment and evaluation, the grade on sincerity, your punctuality and all those, right? Okay. And whenever we are asking any questions, please use the chat box, preferably the chat box, because it takes time during the live classes to go to the comment box and find out the question. So you can type it out easily. It is convenient for you also in the chat box. So anyway, today we will read chapter 3rd by The Little Girl, written by Katherine Mansfield. And students, Katherine Mansfield is a New Zealand-born famous story writer. You can say a modernist story writer. And at the age of 19, she left New Zealand and went to England. And she was fascinated with some greatest feminist writers of the world, like Virginia Woolf. You must have known about feminism. It means the empowerment of women, the fundamental right of women, like equal pay for equal work, and right to expression. You can say the freedom of expression. So anyway, but Katherine Mansfield was born as, yes, Kathleen Mansfield Busham. She was born in 14 October 1888 and her lifespan remained up to 9th January 1923. But you know, students, some writer write under a pen name. Pen name means they take a different name for writing. They don't want to express their own name, the real name. They write under a different name, right? So, Kathleen Mansfield Beauchamp wrote under the pen name of Catherine Mansfield. Yes, and the entire world of literature, the the world of the story writing, is well known with the name of Catherine Mansfield. And it is worth enough to know some of her best writings. And let me tell you, the present chapter, that is The Little Girl, is written in 1912. There is some famous works like The Madness of Rosabelle, then The Women at the Store, The Apple Tree. These are some of our best works. So students, let us discuss the present chapter, the ongoing chapter, that is The Little Girl. And this particular chapter is a gap. It expresses a gap between the professional life and the social life. Most often, what happens, our professional life is so engrossed, we are so busy that the boundary is overlapped actually. You cannot distinguish what is the limitation to the professional world and what is the boundary or the demarcation for the social world. And you can say the personal life also to the social world. Social world is equal to personal life. So, if we want to lead a healthy life, a holistic and comprehensive life, that means there should be a boundary between our professional life, the duty hours, which have a fixed schedule of time, fixed working hour, different work culture. Then, after coming from work, when we go to home, we have a different work, and a person should be devoted to the child, to the family, to the problems, to the needs, and to the challenges of the family. He should devote time for the happiness. He should involve himself completely, or you can say a person should involve herself completely with the world of the society, the family. But nowadays, the work culture is rigid, target is more, we are running out of time, we have no time to eat properly, no time to sleep properly, no time to just have a reflection on what we did, how we did, yes, where we stand in our work, in our profession. So the kind of reflection that we have, that is also we are lacking because we are so busy. We have very tough time. The target is very high, and with a big target, with a busy schedule, with lots of challenges, we are unable to devote time for our family. An employee is unable to devote time for the children, to play with the children, yes, to gossip with the children, even you can say to help the child in his academics, and so on. So here we will see this chapter, the same incident we will find here. Yes, how a little girl called Kezia is terrified of her father, and the father is struggling enough. Yes, he develops the same kind of temperament like he develops in the office. Very tired, just sleeps. Yes, exhausted, you can say, after coming back from office. And then he is very strict, you can say, very rude with Kezia. And whenever Kezia saw him, whenever Kezia usually see him, a kind of fear just grieves her mind. She just trembles, even she fumbles also, or what do you say, just stutters, unable to speak properly, to speak clearly. But when the story develops, we will see the gap is bridged. Yes, so a kind of compromise, you can say a kind of balance between the professional life and the social life. Then Kezia had a very terrific dream. You can see the nightmare. Then her father came and he slept with her. You know, he offers the profound care and love. Then an affinity was made, a bond was built up. And then Kezia said, "Oh, you have a very broad heart, and I am lucky with a broad hearted father, a great hearted father." And a kind of change came inside her. So it's quite natural that you must have experienced, you must have experienced, or I can say you may have experienced, or different kind, like a bit of challenging childhood days you had, or if not, of course you may have done a very good bond with your parents also when you were a small child. But when time passed, or different kind of changes you find in your home, in your father, or you can say in your parents, and you say that okay, I got my early childhood was different, and the later part of life became different. So differences come actually, and we will see the chapter now. Yes, open the chapter third, the little girl, page number 32, and come to the first paragraph. Let me read the paragraph. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning, before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with, "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper is out there and bring me my slippers." So the first paragraph tells you about the arrival of father, arrival of office to the home. Yes, and a different kind of atmosphere is found between his exit from home to the office and his arrival to the home from the office. When he usually goes and takes the exit for work, he gives a casual kiss. So a kind of love and affinity we find between the father and the girl, but a different atmosphere came when he comes back from the office. He gives order to his mother to bring the newspaper, and whether the tea has arrived or not in the tea foil. Then a kind of rudeness come to her. Yes, and Kezia also feels a great sense of relief. Now, students, just can you write when Kezia, or you can say when does Kezia find a great sense of relief? Let me just type your answer. I'd like to see your answers. When does Kezia find a great sense of relief? Yes, here also from my cell phone. I can check your answers. Yes. Akash Vijay has written when his father went to office. Okay. Lakshita Dakar, when her father go to office. Yes, correct answers. Hardik also. Yes, correct answer. But now, can you just pinpoint your answer? Exactly at what situation? Fine. The answer is partly right. The father goes to office. Yet somebody has given the answer. So I do expect the similar answers from many of you. Now your job is to just to pinpoint the answers. Yes, somebody has written here. I think Biha Hada has written. When she heard the noise of carriage, yes. When the father exits home to the office, yes, he must be going to the office by a carriage, a carriage, or you can say carriage is a past days vehicle, driven by a horse. And when the sounds of the carriage becomes fainter and fainter, it means it becomes slower and slower. You can see the reducing sound. She feels a great sense of relief. A kind of big relaxation came to her because she fears her father. So she enjoys the absence of her father, to be very clear and precise. She enjoys the she enjoys the absence of her father. Yes, because when the father is present in the home, she becomes fearful. A sense of terrible feeling just grips her mind. So usually we find a change inside her. Now come to second paragraph. Kezia, mother would call to her. If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. Slowly, the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly, still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. By the time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that is terrifying to the little girl, like a kind of we can say staring. It is called. If you stare at somebody, just raising your eyes, you can say frowning also. That's a different kind of appearance, and we can say it an appearance of fear, apprehension. When small children usually tremble, just they shudder, shak, our body gets shaking, trembling, and this is how the writer is expressing, just staring at eyes and looking at the girl, and that is very terrific, you can say. And by the time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Well, Kezia, hurry off and pull up these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Don't know, father. You don't know. If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. So this is a kind of very unusual experience. Yes, I'm telling it unusual because this kind of experience is, somewhat just opposite of what the girl expects. Just the reverse of her expectation. Actually, a small girl expects the kind of love, the kind of care. Normally, she expects that when a father comes to the home from his office, she would talk to her, she would laugh with her, he would play with her. There would go, a big sense of bonding, you can see, an emotional bond. But when just the reverse happens, when you stare at the girl, and the mother would also give order just to pull down the boot. So this kind of experience is a very difficult one on the part of the child, and normally she stutters. Stutters means, unable to express words properly. So a kind of fumbling just came with her. Yes, and he said, don't know father, one kind of expression we will see. Then students, I would like to ask you another example of stuttering on the part of Kezia. Just you can type it on the chat box. Yes, one I gave you example. I don't know father. One more is there in the book. Yes, in the succeeding lines. And I hope you will feel yourself comfortable and you can easily answer the question. And my question is another example of stuttering. Yes, let me check. Has anybody answered it? Yes, another example of stuttering. Then, yes, last one is Ayush Gelu 90126. So, student, we hope that only 23 are watching now. Yes, I think it's not as healthy as we expect actually. Okay, so this is 22 minutes past 8 o'clock, and this question has been, I can say, given back on answering. Yes, now one answer came from Akash, that is sleeping down the stairs. Yes, that is the situation we can say, but the answer should be pinpointed. Let me repeat the question, and the question is, give an example. I can say, give another example of stuttering. One example is, I don't know father. This is one example. And another one you can write here. Yes. Then Parth is saying, I was not there. No. Uh, yes, I am asking you in the succeeding lines. Yes, soon after I don't know father. This kind of stuttering, just the succeeding one. Yes, the answer is correct, Dila. Yes, Bima Hara has given the correct response. Yes, it is correct. You don't know. Yes, this is the answer. And after this, he tells, if you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. Yes, this is another kind of, this is another edition of our fear. So the fear is just mounting off. Yes, it is just escalating. The increasing curve you can see in the sense of geometry. Then she never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So, students, here we will see some evidences, you can say, or some proof. Some appearance, some particular appearance of the father is giving an indication of or an appearance of a giant. When his mouth is open and he yawned, I mean the father yawned, for the daughter, he appears like a giant because this particular appearance, this particular, the form, the physical form it just creates fear, very unhealthy on the part of the daughter. Yes, and he's also asking, "What are you looking so rushed about, mother? I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide." That is very embarrassing on the part of the child, and this is quite unexpected. Yes, it is quite unexpected because it is quite unusual. Normally, this thing doesn't happen. And yes, so this kind of appearance for Kezia is just like a giant. Thinking about him alone was like to consider him as a giant. And giant is an indication of what? A giant is an indication of trembling, shaking. You know, it just wipes away the creative energy of a child. You can say the creative thinking skill of a child. Yes, all just goes vanished. So this is quite, you can say, very perplexed situation, you can say. I can say perplex, just let me rub it. Yes, tell the word perplex and write it down in the chat box. Yes, right. I am giving you a word, just to write down the meaning of the word perplex. First, you just type the word perplex. I would like to see the correct spelling. Yes. Yes, the correct spelling is perplex. Here, Perplex, perplex. Yes, it is perplex. So she is quite perplexed. She doesn't understand what to do and how to adjust with the father. Then, when we come to paragraph 4, we would see on Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. This is what the daughter finds him to be in the home. What? When grandmother sends her to the drawing room, she sends with a kind of hope, with a kind of different atmosphere, a pleasant feeling. But what does she find? She finds the mother engrossed herself with reading a book. A child usually doesn't expect the mother should come to the child, talk to her, should sing a song, then discuss the creative activities, the stories, the chanting of poems, the rhymes and all those, all these usually go. But the child would find the mother to be reading, and how does the father appear to be? Just write your answer. Yes. How is the father? How does the father behave inside the home? Yes, usually, what does he do when he comes from the office? Yes, no answer. Yes, Srishta Bhattacharya has written something, but the message is retracted. It is under retraction. Yes, then then we will find uh, Akash has written his father lying on the sofa, raising hand and sleeping, snoring. Yes, it is correct. Yes, correct answer. The father is lying on the sofa, stretching, and also is snoring. like this kind of sound we find when a person is, you can say, in a hibernation. Of course, we find hibernation in a different sense. When somebody is in a a very heavy sleep, normally it happens. The father comes back home exhausted, tired, and he's quite prone to sleep because his body demands rest. But the child is restless because the father is taking rest after coming back from office, but the child expects something more, and the father is unable to give that. Right? Then we will see. Yes, it is also written, the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa. You can see in the picture, father is lying on the sofa. The little girl, Kezia, is just standing looking at both her parents. Mother is busy herself with reading. So she sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown hole. This is another instances of very fearful atmosphere. Very unhealthy, you can say, a remark. So this is another trouble. And as usual, she is troublesome and her trouble is just escalating, just increasing, you can say an increasing curve. So we are seeing time after time at a regular interval, we can say, the problem of the child is increasing. Some by frowning, with the fearful eyes, when the father is on a spectacle. Then even when he is sleeping, he is putting the remark, don't stare so, Kezia. It means the father is just giving an indirect answer that I am not answerable to your problems. It means I cannot afford you the happiness that you crave, yes, that you expect out of me, that you can expect of me. So this is what the father wants to say. But yes, the girl still expects when the father is sleeping, but again she becomes hopeless. So one day when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Yes. So father's birthday is coming, and the grandmother tells her to make a presentation, as a kind of gift. You can say a kind of presentation on the birthday. So this experience, this event would be a turning point. So now, students, let us have a glance on what we studied now. And I would like to record your feedback here. Suppose I am drawing here a Venn diagram. Here it is a diagram. Yes. And suppose I am doing this professional life. And this is called social life. So these two are separate worlds. Yes, these two are separate worlds. And this should exist in a different entities. But what we find in the chapter, this is just an intersection. This is just an intersection. S, P, and S, where P stands for the professional life and S stands for the social life. Yes, and there should be a separate word, but this is just overlapping. And when the two separate things just get overlap, it takes away happiness, it takes away the comfort, it takes away the emotional bond. And ultimately, what happens? We find the rigidity, we find the muteness, we can say we find the communication gap. The child wants to express something in front of the father, but she can't simply because she doesn't get a healthy atmosphere. She doesn't find a congenial atmosphere. I can write here the word congenial. Yes. Now, students, my question is, she doesn't find a congenial atmosphere. For example, Kezia doesn't find a congenial atmosphere inside her home. Yes, so from the context of the story, whatever we have read, you can find out the answer, and I hope you will be able to write the answers. Yes, often we see towards the end of the class, students just leave it simply just making it on with the system on, and they become off for their own works. Yes, and I hope students you are pretty sincere till the last minute of the class, because whatever questions we ask, whatever answers you give, that becomes recorded here, and we hope you would come out with the answers. Yes, you would come out with the answers. My question is, yes, Viva Hada has said to repeat the question. Yes, I would like to repeat. My question is, Kezia doesn't find a congenial atmosphere inside her home. Kezia doesn't find a congenial atmosphere inside her home. Yes, I hope you have got the question. Now, I hope you can easily answer it. Yes, my question is, once again I am repeating. Kezia doesn't find a congenial atmosphere inside her home. So, what does the word congenial mean here? Suppose in a comprehension, in a reading comprehension, you will find the last two questions on synonyms and antonyms. So, it is related to the meaning, the vocabulary of the passage. Yes? So, if you understand the passage, if you are thorough with the meaning, the demand of the passage, the nature of the passage, you can easily answer those. And those two questions, most of the time, go wrong. Incorrect answers should go. So I hope if you are just a bit sincere, and if you maintain a bit sincerity, you can answer the question. And always the question on synonyms, yes, and antonym is related to the chapter only or the given passage. Yes, Hardik Jain says pleasant. Okay, correct answer. You can come out with other words also. So, yes, somebody has written her interests. Then Hiranya has written it is temper. Arya says it is agreeable. Yes, all your answers are correct. All of your answers are correct answers. Yes, I cannot say that there is one answer only and hard and fast. No. Yes, it doesn't find a pleasant atmosphere. Yes, correct answer. So, students, what we read today, we read in this chapter the kind of fearful atmosphere that a father has developed. The atmosphere is because of the imbalance between the professional world and the social world. And when imbalance happens, it becomes a very unpleasant atmosphere, unhealthy atmosphere for a child, for the growth of mind, for the creative energy and the creative faculties. Yes, so the talent of a child just gets blocked because your KGI is unable to find the happiness. And the child enjoys the absence of the father. She doesn't enjoy the presence. Yes, you can just support my answer with an evidence. You can type the evidence also. How does the child enjoy the absence of her father? I would like to give you a clue. When you come across the first paragraph, you will get the answer. Yes. No, she doesn't find a pleasant atmosphere. It's correct. But can you give an example of the girl, like when she finds happiness in the absence of the father? Can you please just copy the sentence as it is reflected in the book? There is a situation, and in that situation, the girl enjoys the absence of the father. Yes, Hardik Jain has written because she gets happy when she hears the sound of carriage when her father goes to office. Yes, the sound becomes reduced, it gets fainter and fainter. So that is the situation when she enjoys the absence. So anyway, students, and of course your feedback and responses are recorded here. Anyway, we will come out with the next, once I'm in the next paragraphs with the answers. So stay home and stay safe. Be ready with the notebooks and the textbook. Yes, thank you, students.